Forces and laws of motion. Newton's first law of motion. What Newton's first law of motion talks about is something known as inertia, a property of matter by which matter continues to be in a state of rest or in continuous motion unless an external force acts on it. Inertia and mass. Quantitatively, inertia of an object is measured by its mass. Ever tried to kick a bowling ball like a football? Don't! Hurts like crazy. But kicking a normal football is quite okay. Does this mean something? Try moving a box filled with books. Then try moving an empty box. Which one was easier? Does this mean something? Our scientist mind tells us that inertia of heavier objects is more. That is, the mass of an object is a measure of its inertia. First law, real-life examples. Have you seen astronauts in space drinking water? That's Newton's first law of motion in action right there. Shake a bottle of ketchup. When you shake that bottle, you bring the bottom down. Then suddenly you stop. This is inertia, and it's the inertia which causes the ketchup to come out of the bottle. Now, for a hard-hitting example. When you're in a car with the seatbelt on and the driver suddenly brakes, what happens? You get thrown ahead. That happens because your body is moving along with the car. When brakes are applied, the car stops. But you keep moving until BAM! Thankfully, the car company knew of the first law of motion and put a seat belt to save you. Let us now look at the actual definition of Newton's first law of motion. Newton's first law of motion states that an object remains in a state of rest or of uniform motion in the same direction unless compelled to change that state by an applied force. Now, let's say it. Like we mean it. An object remains in a state of rest or of uniform motion in the same direction unless compelled to change that state by an applied force. Question 1. Which of these has more inertia? A. A rubber ball and stone of the same size. B. A bicycle and a train. C. A 5 rupee coin and a 1 rupee note. More mass means more inertia. So choose the option with more mass. Hence the answers are A. A stone, B. A train, and C. A coin. Question 2. Identify how many times the velocity of the ball changes. A football player kicks a football to another player of his team who kicks the football towards the goal. The goalkeeper of the opposite team collects the football and kicks it towards a player of his own team. When the speed or direction changes, the velocity changes. Let's look for these changes. 1, 2, 3, 4. The velocity changes 4 times. Question 3. Explain why some leaves may get detached from a tree if we vigorously shake its branch. Think about inertia of the leaves. Initially, the leaves and branches are both at rest. When the branch is shaken, the leaves initially continue their state of rest and do not quickly move with the branch. So, the leaves that are not strongly attached to the branch come out loose. Question 4. Why do you fall backward when a bus suddenly starts moving and fall forward when it suddenly stops moving? Think about inertia of your body and the bus. Initially, your body and the bus both have inertia of rest and the bus starts moving. The lower part of our body that is attached to the bus moves ahead with the bus and the upper part stays where it is. So, we fall backwards. Can you now explain what happens when the bus suddenly stops?
If you like our videos, do share them and subscribe to our channel. If you want awesome quizzes, write to us. Keep watching and keep learning with Walnut.